Hi guys, I am here today with Alicia of Lingua Nigra, a fellow jeweler here in Chicago, and we're going to be talking about a few of her favorite pieces. I'm really excited.
I am too.
Awesome, let's get to it. Hi guys, welcome to the next episode of Collector's Corner. This week I'm here in the studio of fellow jeweler Alicia of Lingua Nigra, and she's brought some of her favorite pieces with her today, and so I'm excited to kind of go through that.
I'm excited too. Thank you for having me, even though you're in my studio. Gonna be doing it. This is a double episode thing. You're probably gonna see this on Andrea's channel before mine.
Maybe.
Because I haven't uploaded anything.
You might see it in mine on 2025.
Maybe. So thanks for coming to my studio.
Of course.
And yeah, thanks for having me on Collector's Corner. I'm excited. And we're both jewelers, and follow Andrea Banks, Banks Design, on Instagram and all the socials.
In your handle?
Lingua Nigra, everything. I got recognized on the street.
Oh, yeah.
It was so weird.
That's awesome.
Some guy let me in. He's like, "I love your jewelry.
That's so
I love all your
good.
jewelry." I was like, "What?
Maybe he came through the open house.
Maybe."
That you in here?
I was getting coffee down not that far from here.
Okay.
But it
Yeah.
was random.
Okay. I thought it was like in here.
No. Don't minimize my.
No, I'm not minimizing
I'm
it.
messing with you. I'm messing with you. You're like, maybe he just went upstairs. Calm down. Anyway, I'm messing with her. So I have a lot of jewelry. I'm a big collector. I also hoard. If some of y'all follow, I have 1,000 different Instagram pages, and I like to collect as well as jewelry. I collect a lot of things, but you know, things are sentimental, and jewelry is very sentimental. So I have things from when I was a child. So I'll start off with half. I think the mover stole the other one. But these are filigree earrings from 83rd and Commercial Avenue. If you're from the east side, you know. And they are they're dirty. I just thought about that.
Do you want me to?
Yeah.
We can hold it up.
So like 14 karat gold. I've had these since I was a little girl. And I rediscovered them. I don't know, I was looking in my caboodle. I was looking at my caboodle, and they were there. Now I only have one. I don't know where the other one is. I still have not unpacked. So hopefully it is there.
I like that you still have it.
I do. I'll start with the earrings first. Or maybe the accessories. I bought some belts. If you know me, you know I like some belts. And these, I'll start with the belts because they're really, really good. This is broken, but it's just really beautiful design. It's just really cool. Right. And I think Urban Outfitters came out with like a facsimile. I actually bought another vintage one I found down the street. It was not the price I paid for this, but like even this part, nobody makes this stuff anymore. Oh, if they do, it's not it's not the same quality. And if it is, then it's not the same price. But it's just two pieces. I wore this, as you can see, out. I wore it out. I still love it. Obviously, I haven't given it up. It's just two pieces that nest so well into each other.
I like how chunky the shapes are.
Yeah, it's such a little, like a good belt. If you don't wear jewelry, then a good belt will just tie it all together. This is another piece. I can't remember where I got this from.
Oh, that's really cool.
I can't fit this anymore. It used to pop out. You can tell some of the little links are all busted out, but it's adjustable. Yeah. So it's one of these really beautiful inlaid neck belts that looks like a necklace or a bracelet, and it has all these really pretty silver tone connectors. And it's just, you could just see the hand of it and how beautifully handmade it is. And oh my goodness, another thing I wore to death. And it's adjustable. You can make it smaller. There are holes up until, I think they're like four or five different places to adjust. Yeah.
Punched into each.
Yeah. So
I like this a lot.
Yeah, right? Isn't it
there's so
dope?
much detail
It's so
in it.
good.
It's really cool.
It's so good. It's so good.
Like
So
even like in each design, there's also little like texture stamp in each one. I'm not sure if you can see it, but in each little section, there's additional texture.
Yeah. Ugh, so good. Yeah, this was fun. I haven't looked at a lot of my things, especially the ones I can't fit anymore, in a while. This is really cool. This is a handmade belt that's adjustable. It has these little parts that come out. It's sterling silver.
Okay. This is okay.
It's sterling silver.
Okay.
It was handmade. This guy used to have the shop. He was Moroccan, in downtown Brooklyn. Beautiful little teeny tiny hole in the wall back when Brooklyn used to have stuff like that. And I just put it on a layaway. It was like $300. I paid $300 for that.
That's crazy.
It is.
This would not be $300.
I know, and I told my friends, they were like, "Where's the $300 belt?" I think they thought that was expensive. I'm like, "Do y'all not? It's sterling silver. It's sterling.
It's handmade.
It's handmade,
Look at all
and
of these cutouts.
these little parts here that you can add on, and you can take it out. It's like hinge. So these are all hinges, and then this is an extender. And I think I might have one more piece that's an extender. So it's like designer WWF championship.
No, that's really cool.
Isn't it cool?
Yeah.
I love, again, something I wore out. I mean, I wore the mess. I gotta go to the gym because I miss my belts. Yeah. I mean, would you do something? Would you make something like that?
Would I make it and sell it for $300? No. I would not do all of this saw piercing for $300 and stamping.
And the stamping.
Yeah, and then like if you can see like in each of these little petals on this like flower, there's like additional stamped details and like some engraving. There's a lot happening.
Yeah, and then they put a little lapis, little high cab in there.
Oh, and there's little
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The little CZs.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's really fancy. It's
like every time you look at it, there's something.
It's so
you can like notice the ones in here, and then
it's one of those things which I need to be better at asking how much stuff is, because I remember seeing that in the case, and I wasn't gonna ask.
Yeah.
Because I thought he was gonna be like, oh, $1,000.
Yeah.
And he's like $300. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
$300. Okay, I'll give you $100 today. And also, I just love any place that is really good with layaway. Which good segue into earrings.
Okay.
I would wear these a lot. So I got these from this place called Nosferati Imports. He's not around anymore, but he used to have a carpet store in the West Village before Marc Jacobs ruined it. And it was on like Bleecker and something else. And he was open until like 1 o'clock in the morning. So I would come down from my dorm. I went to FIT in New York, and we'd just be walking around. You know, you're young, you're having fun, you're walking, New York's exciting. And he was open, and you saw these beautiful carpets. And then he happened to have all this bananas jewelry from all the stands. That's what I call like Afghanistan, Kyrgyzstan, you know, Pakistan, Turkmenistan. They're the stands. So he had these, and I asked him how much, and I think they were like $100. I was a college student, and I didn't have any money, and I gave him like $20, and I would just come in like every few weeks and pay on it. I know, and he had it on like a piece of paper. He was like, all right. And I went back maybe, I think right after I moved back to Chicago 6 years ago. And when I went back to New York a few years ago, he was still there, but he was in a different spot. I think he's since closed. It was smaller. And he still had the same jewelry. Actually, I got these rhodochrosite. I was gonna say Rhodesia. Rhodochrosite figas from him. Okay. But the work is just banana. So this is from Afghanistan, like pre-Taliban. They're like Kuchi. One of the tribes is the Kuchi. And it's the craftsmanship, but also the ingenuity of the piece. It's cut glass. It's not super precious, you know, it's perceived. And then they're not really set. It's cut glass, foil, and also beads. And then they're set in place with wax.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, so some of the stones have popped out, but there used to be thread all on these too, like little chunks of thread all around.
Okay.
And my ears were stretched for over 20 years. I had big stretched ears. So these were not that difficult to wear. I probably couldn't wear these today, but I love them still the same. And again, asking how much things are, and then just knowing I'm gonna have these for a really long time.
Yeah, and I think what's fun about these two is like they're brass. And
Yeah.
like speaking of having things for a long time, it's brass and silver. I think a lot of people have hesitation about buying metals that aren't just like silver or gold for like longevity's sake, and it's like tarnish isn't a bad thing. It's a natural occurrence.
No.
Just clean your jewelry.
Yeah.
And it will last you for
Yeah.
a long time. You just have to take care of it.
Yeah. And it looks, I don't know, it has the patina is just, I mean, it already had a patina on it, and it just has like this chunks. I don't know if that's dirt or not. It might be wax, I don't know, but yeah, it has all these stampings, and I don't know, I could just imagine somebody maybe in a very hot climate just making these, you know, for someone. So it's just cool they made it to New York, and then they made it in my hands finally, my little baby Alicia. Starving, jumping turnstiles.
I like that he kept a little run tab.
He was like, we do layaway. I was like, all right, I should have bought a carpet, had I foresight or forethought, whatever. Keeping it in warm places. Okay, so when I was 22, me and my roommate at the time, Giselle Smith, who's back in Chicago, we had a lot of parallels in our life before we met. We had the same internal doctor. Oh. Her grandmother, her mom, and my mom, and me and her we all had the same doctor. We worked near each other, and then we ended up working at the same place, and then we became roommates in college. But all that to say, she wanted to go to Morocco. And I was like, okay, let's go to Spain too. I haven't been to Spain since I was 11. So we traveled, we backpacked. Pre-internet, really, y'all. Pre cell phone for sure. For, you know, everyday international. Like we went to travel agent, and am I talking too much?
No.
Okay. Sorry.
It's just like,
No. It's fine. I was like, I got a lot of stuff. I'm giving a backstory for everything.
I have an hour and 8 minutes.
Okay. You'll have a minute left probably. Yeah. Yeah, so we went to the travel agent and everything near the Empire State Building and got our little tickets and went all around, went from Barcelona to the tip to Algeciras, took the ferry across the Strait of Gibraltar, and landed in Casablanca, I think.
Okay.
I don't even know anymore. That was a long time. Y'all, that was 23 years ago.
I wasn't there.
And then went all over Morocco, not knowing a lick of anybody's language. It was fun. So a time was had. Everybody loved her. It was, I don't know. It was interesting. So all that to say, I bought jewelry, and this is before I majored in jewelry. I was actually about to change. I just changed my major. I was very disenchanted with the fashion program at FIT, and I just changed my major to jewelry. But I was just collecting. I don't know why I only have like one of everything.
No, it's okay.
But I wore the mess out of these. Aren't those fun?
Here's a yellow. Always like struggling with the focus on this. Yellow dangle. And then we've got.
And it's like hollow.
Yeah, it's a hollow form. It's very nice. It's like it's not too heavy.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Light.
And then these are different, but and they weren't expensive. You know, they weren't too expensive, right? I feel like some of the stuff they kind of made to look old. Yeah, it was hard seeing like super fancy jewelry, but I mean, they also knew we looked broke. We looked broke. It was interesting.
And
But
I'll do a pan over some of these pieces at the end because I know they're a little bit fussy.
Moving on, let's still keep it on the continent. I actually got this in Texas at an antique store.
Not home.
I got it in Houston.
Okay.
At an antique mall, and when I tell you again, I wore and I'm not a necklace person. I like little charms and like talismans. I wore this so much at one time. I really haven't even repaired it. I kind of thugged it out. I probably should do something about that. But the beading is just so dope. I love it. And it's nothing I would ever do. Like beadwork, I love so much, but I know if it has anything to do with a pattern, absolutely not. It's not happening.
Yeah, I love beadwork. That was kind of like my first foray into jewelry. Like beading. Mm-hmm. And it is like very tedious, like a whole bunch of little seed beads, just stringing it together. But it's also very meditative. And there's like I'm just like rubbing it. It's like a sensory, like feeling them in your hand. It's just like, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great. No, it's great. I'd
Really
be so scared it would fall on the floor. Like I would just need carpet everywhere, or just work it.
Garbage. You want to be able to sweep them up.
You just use like black and white beads. That's all it would be, black and white beads.
That could be a thing.
You're right. Okay, so
that's a house bill.
Let's see. There's some vintage. Maybe I should show a few vintage pieces.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, this is really, this is fun. And I think this is in the Design and Creation of Jewelry book too, the Oppie Untracked. But it's Adam and Eve and the snake is in the form of an apple. I wore the mess out of that too. That's not the original chain. I changed that out a few years later, but I got that at the flea market in Chelsea. Now it's the Whole Foods, but it just used to be a parking lot.
Yeah. I love these huge vintage pieces. Like in my last one, someone had like the necklace was like a duck out of an egg.
Oh
like,
yeah.
You just don't see things that are this fantastical anymore.
No.
I mean,
nobody's gonna take that time. Like somebody carved that, in
so
wax
cute.
and then cast it. And then mass produced it.
Yes.
Like, oh yeah, that's gonna make it.
This
yeah. Yeah. So Adam and Eve, and then the snake is an apple.
And there's also like the back detail. I was like looking at the back.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
That's really fun.
Yeah.
And I like that the border is the snake.
I know, it's so good.
It's almost a heart. But
Yeah.
It's also kind of an apple.
Yeah, it's
shape.
an apple. Yeah. No, it's very well thought of. I love good design. Let's see. Vintage. Do I have any more? Okay. These, actually I sold some of these in my archive market. I have a lot of stuff. And I need to get rid of a lot of things. But I bought these beads over 20 years ago at this amazing store that's no longer, called Metalliferous. If you know,
Oh
you
my
know.
God.
I know.
Yeah, it's done.
So Metalliferous used to be on a street. They used to have a lot of Brazilian restaurants. It's still called Brazil Way, and there's like probably one Brazilian restaurant there now. But it was like right off of the Diamond District, 47th Street, and it catered to the industry, but also to students. I actually never went while I was in school because everybody said the customer service was so bad, and I didn't realize I had anxiety at the time. And I just avoided it. So I would go to All Craft because it was a block away.
Okay.
And I didn't have to pay $1.50 to go up and get disrespected. Why am I gonna do that? I
mean, that's fair.
Right, I can just go to All Craft and not stress out and have, right? Not have to try to wait for somebody outside after their shift and, with their ass. So it wasn't until I graduated that I went off, and they had everything. At the height of their popularity, they had a back room, they had a storage warehouse, and they still do, but they sold the company. But they had a back room, and it was just full of stuff from Rhode Island, and also manufacturing was really big in New York too, just the whole East Coast. So I bought a bunch of them. I was like, ooh, people are gonna buy them. Nobody bought them. But these are vintage plastic Japanese earrings. Ooh, mine are deteriorating. No. Oh no, they're not. They're kind of. I don't know. Some deteriorated on it. Okay, just kidding. Oh, sorry. I have like drawers in my home of they're just packed with jewelry.
So
but
something else from something else.
Yeah. They're a little dusty. But they're like this really pretty, like green, jadey, chunky color. I don't know, they're just really fun, and I just love that pop of color.
Yeah, those are really fun.
Yeah.
I feel like that's another area where it's like I don't necessarily champion the use of like new plastics.
Yeah.
But like vintage plastic is very interesting because you can kind of see like what people were thinking when they were like, ooh, a new substance. Like what are we gonna make with it?
Right.
All the different textures. It's also just not the same as the plastics.
Not at all. No, not at all. Insane. Yeah. So I bought a bunch. I wish I would have bought the rest. But they were sitting around, and then I did the archive market and people bought them. That's how I kind of push it though. I'm like, y'all better get these. These are like really valuable. You better get them. And then people hopped on it. So those are fun. I don't wear them as much, but I still love them. I will stick to, since we're kind of doing a bead-ish thing, vintage, but not really. I guess there's no particular order, right?
No.
This is my one friend. These are Jen's, Alchemila.
Okay, yeah.
I have had my eye on these for a minute. And Jen is a friend. If y'all follow Alchemila, she's bananas. She does all this bead work. She uses vintage beads and makes these frames for them that are just so amazing. And I like, you were like, and they're just amazing. They're just delightful. So yeah, they're just like a cross with the black and white, something neutral-esque, but not really. Oh, you know what?
And I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but this is really cool because the black bugle beads are like solid, and then the white ones are actually a long bead and two short beads, like flipped.
The bananas. Oh my God. And it's like, it's alternating the pattern.
Yeah.
Never would I ever. ever. My eyes were crossed.
Yeah.
I'd look like Steve Martin from The Jerk. I would have crossed eyes. Okay. So we did Jen's, and okay, since I got my ears aren't stretched anymore. I got them stitched up, which was a whole other thing. I was able to keep a piece of my ear. And now I have like, thank you. He's an expert. He's like a legend in the field.
Okay.
I didn't get done. A doctor, it costs as much to get it. You can get a BBL for almost the same price as getting your ear stitched up. Not really, but it's like $1,000 an ear for no reason.
BBL you want.
It doesn't matter. The fact that you can get it available, BBL.
You can get a lot of things for cheap. I don't know that you want to do it that way.
I'm just saying. Like if I pay $1,000 more, I can get. I mean, I don't need it, but more booty. Come on. Versus getting my ears stitched up in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was an hour each ear, but yeah, it was fine. I'm fine, y'all. And I got to keep my little pieces. So they're in the living room and
like in a jar?
Yeah, in alcohol. Because I still always bring things to sanitize, so I happen to have a little jar with me. And he's like, "What are you gonna do with it?" I was like, "What are you gonna do with it? Give me my ears.
I'm gonna throw it out.
Give me my ears. They're not about to be in a landfill being picked apart by seagulls." I always think about that.
Back to nature.
I don't know.
Remember you were dusted.
I don't know. I don't think so. Mm-mm. But yeah, these are really cute hoops from Erica. Erica, I forgot your last name, girl. Oh my goodness.
Brandon?
On the Lookout Jewelry. Erica Young. On the Lookout Jewelry. She makes really cute beaded jewelry. They're light, nice and light. I have a few pairs. It's nice. It's like an invisible pop of color. It's also really interesting because I wear such gigantic, heavy, big jewelry, and it's fun exploring this part of me.
Yeah.
So yeah, and these are like orange with a really pretty mustard, like a green color.
It's very 70s.
Right?
60s.
Yeah. Like mod. So yeah. And then these, which I'm so happy I found the other boot. I thought I lost them.
Oh,
Little boots.
cute.
Boots. I love fun jewelry. I love funny things anyway, but these are just too cute. And these are made by Roop Jewelry. She also does really fun, beautiful beaded work, and the boots came in different colors, but I had to get the black and white ones. Also because I really have wanted cowboy boots for a long time, but I have big legs and I feel like I also don't know what to wear with them because they're hot. And seeing people in really in almost no clothing and hot boots just really bothers me. No offense to anybody. You know, like you see people in like shorts with boots on. It just seems hot. If you're not on the ranch, okay. in
I feel
different.
like with the cowboy boots, I get it more than like an UGG. I feel like there was a moment where everyone was like, "It's summer. I'm wearing my short skirt with like an UGG," and I was like, "This is."
They're both horrible. Like
Okay.
sweaty feet with socks. Oh, and it's like 100 degrees, and you're not anywhere near a ranch nor a horse. I'll give you a pass if you're on a horse, if you have a horse. These people don't. These next ones.
I like a cowboy boot.
I do too, but not. It's the outfit. It's the unless it's like a really cute little like matchy like Western cowgirl outfit. But I've never seen anyone in the city.
I don't know. I haven't seen that many cowboy boots here.
You haven't gone to the rodeo?
No.
Oh, they just had a walk. I didn't know yesterday. The Broken Arrow Club.
Yeah, I always miss it.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like, oh, I gotta remember the rodeo, and then someone.
They also don't advertise, and they have an
Yeah.
Instagram, and I told them about
Someone on
that.
my block club will post it like the weekend of and be like, go to the rodeo, and then I'm like, well, now
Thanks,
I
right.
already have plans. I can't make it.
Yeah, no, it was fun. I went like 2 years ago. It was down the street from my house, so there was
Okay.
like no excuse.
Yeah.
So these are really fun too. These are by Aisha of Aisha Likes It, who's also like a major collector. And I want you need to fly to Aisha's and see what she
Yeah.
has, because she has Aisha stay on somebody's jewelry website. But she is an amazing artist herself, and she works with a lot of different jewelry. I know I usually get really simple things from people because I don't make. Well, no, I do make some. I don't know. There's something about this. I bought a pair for myself, and I bought a pair for my mom. So she has these really pretty green. Made these out of green African glass, and then she has like a purple. She made a purple pair, and I made it for my mom, or got it for my mom.
I also like these earbuds.
Yeah, same.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like giant.
Kind of hard to show it, but it's like a nice big swirl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a pair that I wanted and then they were gone, and I need to just reach out to her.
You should. And I send her beads all the time.
My custom.
I know. No, I just send her a cool like, oh, this is from my favorite store. Because I told her, I was like, they're closing. You need to come with me and check it out. And I'm sure they have millions of beads.
Okay.
They just closed their storefront. I know. These.
Finding a good bead,
It is, and they used to be ubiquitous. Like they were
Yeah.
just everywhere.
and now they're
No,
there.
no.
It's all just seed beads.
Yeah,
glass seed
yeah, and it's the same stuff all the time. Yeah, this place, Lecon, if y'all ever.
beads. If you-
So these I made in college, and they are ear weights because I wanted to make body jewelry before it got cool, y'all. Before everybody was doing it, when people were still just wearing stainless steel barbells and everything. So the bottom,
I know.
you hear that?
There's someone outside on like a megaphone or something. You might
Because
not
we're
be able to
high up,
hear
we're
it,
high
but
up. So
yeah.
sometimes I'm like, is that somebody outside? Like right outside my window? I'm on the 9th floor.
I know.
So these are made out of cast water chestnuts. They call them devil nuts. They're
Yes.
native to Asia, but then you can find them all up and down the Hudson in New York. And they're invasive, but they're water chestnuts, and they look very gothic. They're black. They're beautiful. It's one of those things in nature that you're just like, I didn't do anything to it. So I made a mold in college. My professor, who's now my friend, just tossed some at me. She was like, made something out of it. I was like, ooh, okay. And I kind of went with that. So these are one of the first pieces that I made that were in the Lingua Nigra rotation. And I still make these in brass for people for ear weights too. And I still want to expand on that. I feel like since I'm not part of it anymore, that I don't know if I should, but I guess I could. I could still go back to it. So my little ear weights, and those are solid sterling silver.
Yes, these are. Yes. they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, and I used to wear like a few of them in my ear at a time. Another plus of being your own jeweler. I do miss, we had a thing that would make this curve in the school. Like you would curve it automatically.
That's cool.
Man.
There's so many like cool machines that you just don't have access to in your like
Every day,
regular
no.
life. Or like if you were to buy it, it would be like 50,000.
Yeah.
Or something.
I have a ring stretcher that is vintage. They still make them, and I see why they're $1,000. They make them new.
Yeah.
I got
it
one
one
on
of the
eBay.
punk ones?
It's that one back there.
Yeah. I
it's
love those.
oh my goodness. I got it on eBay. The guy canceled the order because you could tell he wanted more for it, and thankfully somebody else was selling it for the price I wanted.
Okay.
It is, if you ever,
I've been looking for one.
it's incredible.
Yeah, no, I love them.
You don't have to anneal. You don't have to anneal any. You can go from size 1 to 10, and you're like, oh,
It's beautiful.
it's amazing. Oh my God, tools are just Yeah, jewelry is a good thing and a bad thing. You can just really go crazy. These are really cool earrings made by Hmong artists. Jer's last name is Young, I think. I might be, no, it's Jer Zhong. I'm just gonna say Jer because I always mess up. I always mess up your name. I'm so sorry. And he was just at Aeromont, which I was so happy to see. So these are coins. These are vintage coins.
Okay, I was gonna say there's a pattern on
Yeah.
Sure.
So he cuts these out by hand, and he hand pierces them.
This focus is not. Yeah. So yeah, you can see that each individual panels that have been stitched together with this lime green.
Yeah, and he pierces each one, and then he stitches them. He just taught a class in embroidery and like embroidery and like decorating and making things with metal.
Was that at Aeromont?
It was at Aeromont. I didn't even know he was gonna be there, so it was really nice to see him for the week. I didn't bring. I wish I would have brought the earrings, but I wear those often, and they're really great. So, and it's just really cool that he has that story. So yeah. These are from the thrift store. I just thought they were really fun.
Oh, they are fun.
It looks like somebody's little kid made them.
Yeah,
You know, it's like some little 7-year-old made them, and like, all right, I'll wear them. But they're real basic. But the beads are faceted, and then you have that really pretty, like the turning of the wood bead, and then the contrast in the colors is just really pretty.
Yeah.
So
They kind of make me think of like fishing lures or something.
yeah, like oh. These are my latest. This is the latest thing that came in the mail. Hillary, I'm gonna butcher your Hertzliger. But she's an incredible artist based out of Philly. She uses beads in ways that I could never think to use them. And they're so lightweight. The pair, I wanted another pair, but those were long gone. I might go back on the site and look. But I wore these yesterday with one of my vintage dashiki dresses, and they just look so, it's that little yellow. Yeah, I would never, like, I wouldn't think to do that, right?
Yeah.
They're just so pretty, so.
You did sculpture instead of just like.
Yeah, I mean, her necklaces are just out of this world. These are, I have some enamel jewelry, but I don't have a lot. And what I have is from like estate sales and just thrift stores. I love enamel jewelry. And now I took a class recently to expand on my visual art practice, which maybe one day y'all will see that episode that I recorded like 2 months ago. It has been. It's a lot of editing, y'all.
Yeah, there's a lot of editing.
But these are from the person I have been sweating and admiring, Tanya Crane, who's such an incredible human being. And this is graffito, which means like scratching on top. So she took one layer of enamel and then painted on another layer and then scratched away. And so use that white part, I think the white part is the bottom, the back part. And they're just really fun earrings. And they're super lightweight. So I got a pair for me and then my mom.
I like how organic the shape is.
Right?
Yeah.
These are another school. Oh, so funny. These are another school project. These are, y'all, these are so old. So
Were you 20?
I was gonna be 23, and then I wore them to 32. So no more. They're retired, y'all. But yeah, punched out. This is old school. This is like not a Bonnie Doon press, but it's puffy. So I made a number 2 and a number 3 in plexiglass, and then took some tissue and some. I mean, this is in school. First of all, I went to a public school, so this is gonna explain why this sounds so bootleg with paper and stuff. It wasn't electric. We had a hand press, and you tightened it. Whereas now it's all like, well, not now, but people do electric, or add a compressor to it, and then it makes this puffed. It's a little raised, and then you just do a back. It's so funny to see. And then I don't know. Oh, because I got fired from I quit my jobs, and then I got fired from one, so I had time. I had time to actually do stuff in school versus just show up for a grade and graduate and be done with it.
Why a little 5 at the end of this one?
Birthday.
Okay.
I don't know why the 7. It's lucky 7. I don't know.
Okay.
But May 5th is my birthday.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So.
I like their little star cutouts.
Because they would tell us that if we soldered,
right,
it would explode. But they didn't tell us that the first time, because the first thing we had to do was like this donut. It was a hollow form, and no one said that. And we're just over here heating up stuff and heating it up, and who knew? They did not care. That's the magnet. Yeah, that's from the magnetic tumbler. I know.
That happens.
22 years later, I know it's still. Yeah, I think I probably got a magnet taken. I was like, nobody. I mean, I didn't do this for a grade. This was like fun, and with kyanite. It has little pieces of kyanite and steel chain, and then the numbers are sterling silver. I think that's like probably one of the most art jewelry pieces I made. And the things in college were very art jewelry. Like conceptual, but not really super wearable. I don't know, like wearable. No shade. That's not my thing. So this next pair I have 2 pairs of these. These are from Peter Schilling of Taking Form Jade Studio. And these are, I think they're Montana jade. And he works with different kinds of jades from all over the world. There's a lot of jade in the United States. Jade is interesting to work with because it's really hard. And once you get to the final polishing, if you want to polish it, you have to polish it with leather.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I have a cabochon. My friend, when I said I was going to do jewelry, my friend's dad, who I loved very much, he was taking, I didn't know at the time, he was taking jewelry classes, and we probably learned at the same place. He gave me all his stones, and he gave me this long piece of jade, and I was able to make a cabochon out of it and polish it. But yeah, it's on a lathe, but it's like a leather wheel. That's interesting. It is. It's. I'm like, who knew to do this? Like, what's the trial and error? So Peter's really smart. First of all, I love his work. He makes these beautiful carved pendants, and then his wife makes the tapestry or the fabric that holds the pendants, the cords. Okay. She braids them by hand. However, they're like $800, $1,000. Then he has these that are like $100 or like $110. Really smart. The merchandising is beautiful. It's just on the side, and then he has the necklaces here. And I was just gushing over all of his work because they're really simple. They're very light. Even I just love how everything's just so well thought of. So I have a pair of these, and I have a darker jade earring. But honestly, out of everything, I wear these a lot. Especially if I'm going to the gym or something, and I know I'm going somewhere after, and I just need to change, into a different top. I'll have these on. But yeah, they're just really simple. The design is just really beautiful. He made me a hammer. The last time I saw him, he made me a little scoop one year. Then he made me a whole hammer. He was like, "Oh, I just do this in my free time." I had to show you. It's it's a hammer.
Okay. But not out of jade.
No.
Okay. I was like, what?
He carved me a car out of jade. You're like, really? He's the sweetest, and I really love his work. These next pair I also wear a lot, and these are from Laura Wood Studio, who's awesome. She's incredible. And they're speaking of like forming and stamping and using a Bonnie Doon. And I love that on her site you could just mix and match.
Yeah.
And so I just mixed and match. You could tell. I probably should take better. They're like all scratched up, but I wear them. I wear those a lot too. I just love them. I just love how giant they are, but they're still really lightweight.
Yes.
And Laura's just a great person with her little strawberry shortcake baby. It's so cute, little strawberry hair. So these are really dope hoops, and these are from Neo Ancient. It's like patina. These are from Neo Ancient Jewelry. He makes incredible work. Oh my goodness. He works out of a van, and he's based in New Mexico. And what I love I love everything that he makes. I wear these a lot too. I love the closure. You don't need a back.
Yeah.
He made this like little cup, and that's how the post gets in. And it's very just ingenious.
Yeah, they're very light. I like the shape of, like, the size of them. And yeah, I like it because you don't have to really move it that much to get it in there. And I think sometimes with the simple wire hoops, if you have to bend it a lot to hook it on something, eventually it'll just break and you have to keep fixing it. So I think that was a smart one.
Yeah. No, he makes a lot of things out of corn, which I love because corn is life. And it's life. This, Mesoamerica. Corn and other things. It's just, he has a really organic approach, but he works a lot in brass and really heavy, beautiful work. And it's just really thoughtfully done. And he's very talented. So I'm happy to have. I have some corn earrings by him too that I don't think I've worn, but yeah. Well, let me keep on going with the earrings. These are really fun. They're little cats, and they're powder coated, and they're by my friend Bree Flora.
It's very cute.
Yeah. I don't believe I just bought. She had a birthday sale, and I've been meaning to buy something. I was gonna buy something from her when I was at Aeromont, which is a school in Tennessee. They have a store. But then she had those cats, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's what I want." With the weird tongue. Yeah, so she
front paw.
Yeah, so she powder coats them, and she does beautiful work. She does customs. She's an amazing artist, and she's really she's mastered the powder coating technique. These are just old school Lingua Nigra. Some of the beginning. So when I first started, I was making things out of coins because I had a lot of coins. I had pesetas, and my boss's friend, who's Russian, gave me rubles, and I riveted them, and then I wore them, and I would wear them all over on the subway in New York, and people would always ask me where I got my jewelry from. I was like, I made it. That and my bracelets. And so either people would be like, "Oh, here, I'm from this country. Here's some coins." So weird, like they weren't gonna ever go back to their country. And then I just kept on collecting coins, and so that was the whole thing. Me making coin jewelry out of actual coins. And then it got too heavy, and so I started casting it in white metal, and it was a thing for a while because these are heavy. So yeah, baby vintage. That'll go on the museum show. You heard it here first.
I wouldn't have thought to cast it. I'm always like,
no, who's gonna catch me? Out of all the things these countries are doing, I wish they would.
I always like these ones from Denmark with the hearts. They're so cute.
These are super vintage, Alicia, too. So fun, not really long, short story. When I was working for this woman for over a year, and I had really unstable housing. I was jumping from home to home with different roommates, and I had to leave one situation mostly because my rent was due on the last day of the month, and I got paid the last day, and this woman would pay me in a check. And it wouldn't clear for like 3 days. So my account kept on bouncing. So I ended up getting kicked out. And I had no place to stay. And I was stressing out at work. And her friend who was Russian, Liz, would come over. And it's all rusted. And she was like, I'm gonna ask my boyfriend if you can stay in his place. I know nobody lives there. And I was like, please do. She kept on asking him, bothering him. And he finally gave in. And this is literally, I'm telling you, this is the day before I had to move. All I had was I had a cat, and my best friend Avery and my other friend Max were gonna help me move. I don't know where. I was gonna put myself in storage, and I was gonna give my cat away. Giving the cat away fell through. The girl on Craigslist was like, oh, we wanted a short hair cat. I didn't know it was long. I didn't have no pictures. So nobody wanted my cat. So I was going to just put him in a shelter. Okay. So the night before, she was like, he said you could have the apartment. I talked to him for 2 seconds, like, where is it? He's like, on Brooklyn Avenue. I was like, where? Because I lived in 2 apartments on Brooklyn Avenue before. He was like, it's by the police station. I was like, that is not a plus, but okay. And I got it sight unseen. He was like, my dad comes in from Russia every now and then, and he'll just sleep on the couch. You can take, if you have a bed, you can take. It was, when I tell y'all this is random,
very sketchy.
Like, we moved in, I didn't know what, I had the apartment number and I had a key, and I moved, like, it was so random. And then I just, like, we had to do some other stuff, so I left the cat in the apartment. Okay. And then I met his dad, Edward, and we got along, and it was like a comedy show, and yeah, it was funny. So anyway, all that to say, one of the things that stayed when Edward left, besides the plant that I still have 23 years later, 21 years later, there was a pack of doilies in a drawer in one of the pieces of furniture. They left a few things because Mike was divorcing at the time, but he just kept the apartment because it was super cheap. It was $500. It was a 1-bedroom. It was $500. I could not afford. I had to pay him $250 or $300. It was $600. I could not afford that. I was stalling. I had no money.
Yeah.
None.
I've been there.
Like, none. I was like, oh, he's like, did you pay my dad yet? I was like, yeah. Sure. Let me get a cash advance on my, $500 max limit credit card. So, but yeah, there was a drawer that had these doilies in it, and I was sneaking into FIT at the time and making jewelry because I didn't have any. Again, y'all, I didn't have any money. Got $1.50 to go to FIT and sneak in. All you have to do is go to Kinko's and get a color sticker. You get a sticker and color copy the sticker. And now y'all missed out. Let me tell you. So there were these doilies, and this is not my best work, but I was taking like a plastics class with Karen, who's my friend now, Karen Bachman, amazing teacher. If you ever take her, please take her. She teaches at Pratt and at FIT. And she's an amazing jeweler in person. She was teaching a plastics class, and oh no, she's here. It's 4:30. She was teaching a plastics class, and she was just telling us all the different things that we could put in the plastic. And so I thought to dye the doilies and cut them out into different shapes. And that was a whole other thing of Lingua Nigra, my plastics. But this was so caustic. I had to wear a respirator. I was doing it in my house. Ooh. At the time, I had somebody in my apartment staying with me, and she moved the fan.
Oh no.
And it was cat hair. It was Karen all.
Yeah.
I was so upset. So all that to say, I have a lot of these left, but they're so funky. But it's just really cool. So they kind of hang like that, and they're nice and lightweight. They were cute though. 2004, 2000, maybe this was 2004.
I like this.
2003, 2004.
Oh, and it's kinetic.
And my boyfriend at the time was like, I don't get it.
And then you said you don't need to.
I know that was so y'all. There was so many red flags. Burgundy. Okay, we're rounding it out, y'all.
Yes.
Another. I got really excited because I couldn't find these. These are just like some of the newer things that I've made. And they're beads. I'm trying to do more limited edition things. This has been in the drawer forever. By introducing one-of-a-kind pieces with things that I could cast over and over. So I'll make a foundation for something, and then I feel like we're on the Home Shopping Network. I'll make a foundation for something and then try to add on either an organic piece or something that you can't get again. So these are vintage beads, vintage African beads, glass beads, plastic beads. and I'll just make a little story with them, and they've done really well. They're really fun, and they're pretty lightweight. And it's just, I'm happy people have been open to seeing a mystery. You know, like I don't know what I'm gonna get. Like some people tell me, like, I like greens. I'm like, okay, that's too much pressure. Just if you don't like it, you can return it. I'm not. You know, but the beads are so beautiful and rare that I think people like them.
Yeah, and I feel like they're multicolored. It's not like I hate purple and it's all purple.
Right.
If you like green, there's green in
right. It's gonna pop out.
Yellow,
and this is like the first iteration. I feel like I should have documented all the ones that I've done so far because they do really well wholesale. And each comp, every time I do a comp, I was like, this is my favorite combination. And I'm like, this is my favorite. So this is really fun. So if y'all don't know, I worked at a lot of jewelry companies, as I talked in my intro that I still have yet to edit and put on YouTube. But I worked at this company called Lee Angel, which is still around. It's under the name Roxana Sulin, who was the owner of Lee Angel. And Lee Angel was all over. They did private label, but then they had their own label, and the designer was Tara, who was my boss when I was at Lee Angel the first time. The industry's small, y'all. It is small. And so there was a whole initial collection, and she made us our own necklaces. First of all, peep the plating. The plating is still on. This is almost 20 years old. She made this for me in like 2006. The plating is still on. That is some T&M jewelry, that plating, on 36th Street. Don't go there. But it's on.
Stop.
The plating's not the same, but the plating's not on everything, but she just did like a little combination. I wore that necklace out, okay? And I'm not an initial girly, but I just thought it was really fun and really sweet. And it's of that era. There's just so many things I remember. It just reminds me of being in Soho, still being kind of broke, but living by myself. Walking everywhere, walking over the Brooklyn Bridge to get home, and then hopping on a train. Not having time. I remember that, like I'm gonna go to the gym, and then the bus isn't here. I'm gonna walk home. Like I don't even think I owned a computer because I couldn't afford one. So if I didn't go, I would go to the museum. I would go to the library after and check my emails. Or go on the weekend, but I would go to the Y and then walk home, which was like an hour walk.
I think though that you pinpointed what is so stressful. I don't know. Like I feel like I'm like, I don't know. I used to take the bus everywhere and like do this and do that, and I was like, well, yeah, but now I don't have like an extra 30 minutes.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, we would really take our time and then still be home early. Yeah. If that makes it, still be like 8:30, 9 o'clock. Like we'd get out for work at 6, and then we walk down, cross the Brooklyn Bridge, do a little, when I tell you the slowest stroll on the face of the planet, stroll and then hop on a train and go home, or go to Century 21. When it's not around anymore, but good Century 21 and buy things that we didn't need, and then hop on the train. But yeah, so that's what that reminds me of going to H&M when it just opened in Soho and getting the clothes that were actually, I still have a lot of old H&M because the quality was so different.
It was very
The quality
different.
was very different.
Yeah.
That's the thing I care, because I remember when they first opened, they were flying all the new employees to Sweden. That was the big thing. It's just so wild.
I worked there.
Did you go to Sweden? Did we talk about this?
I did not go to Sweden. They had stopped that by then. The quality of the clothes
I bet they
changed by
did.
the
They were
time
like,
I
ain't no
got
point
there.
in you going to Sweden when we know it's gonna be made by children. So
It was wild. But I started working there in Dallas, and they had just opened there. They didn't have one before, and all these people were coming from surrounding states because they were so excited to get an H&M.
It was such a thing.
That was when it was
it was such a
and
thing.
then they just expanded a little bit too fast, I think. And then I transferred with that job here, and I worked on State Street, and that was gone now. It doesn't exist. Actually, neither of the H&Ms I worked at exist anymore. So, R.I.P.
That was such a thing. It was, we would walk there in college, because there was nothing else to do. I was like, I can't afford this.
Yeah.
I would go to Divided. I still have my Divided tops.
Divided.
Listen, I did a mini.
I like that you know the inside.
Listen, I'm telling you. I was a shopper. I'm still a shopper. But that was we had time. I don't know how that still.
I know.
And I was exploring, and that was when they opened the flagship, and that was such a thing.
Yeah, but also H&M, you owe me a trip to Sweden. I don't know.
Oh, okay. We're gonna at them and see what they say with my 7 followers and they're gonna care about this.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel a payoff coming. Yes. This is made by my friend Miriam, who used to make jewelry. She has 11 children. And she still did it. I don't know how she did it. She's an incredible storyteller, poet, activist, artist. And she would make these beautiful things. She would go to estate sales and just put these beautiful pieces together. I also wore the mess out of that because I feel like that had the hands on it, that little clock. Those are mink teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Or mink jawbones.
Were they attached already? Or did she glue them in there?
No, those are attached.
That's kind of wild.
I know. They're really, yeah. Yeah, so Miriam would make. I forgot the name of Miriam. Oh goodness, I gotta think of the name of her company, her brand. And I met Miriam via Etsy. So that has to be like 2008 when we had our Etsy group. And she was a trip. Miriam she will tell you the wildest stories, and you're like, she is serious, but you're laughing because you're like, what are you telling me? You're really telling me that like this really happened to you? And then to round it out, I think I have a few pieces on. I have this I love this necklace. It's a little hand saw. It's a jeweler's saw. It's gold. It's 14 karat gold. It's by Dana Fear. And it has a little saw blade in it. Yes. Which I actually cut myself this morning. I was like,
oh, no.
But I wear it all the time. And then I just got this Evil Eye, and it's a labradorite piece by Sea Pony. Okay, by Sea Pony Couture. And then I have these. I don't wear them that much because my necklaces tangle. I don't know how people wear 3,000 chains. I wish I could, but they really tangle.
I feel like they have to have a significant difference in chains.
Yeah. I have one more, but I'd have to search. But it's not really. It's a piece. It's not jewelry yet. But these are the remaining hands. I love hands. I love figas. I love talismans. So I have 2 of those on there, and then I have one of my cats, my dearly departed Boo Boo Man, Bruce Goodwin. It's a claw.
Oh,
so when he passed away, I asked him to take his claws. I know, isn't that
insane? But I saw the top part.
And when he was really sick, I came home and he got stuck in something. He had to yank his claw.
Oh my God.
I know, poor baby man. I know, he was going through it. That was my homie. I had that guy for 13 years. So yeah, it was one of his claws, kind of dirty. But I made a setting for it in gold, and then I have another one, and it popped out, but I found I need to make a better back. It's like a challenge working with organic materials like nails or claws or teeth.
Yeah.
Because they're not all one size fits all. So yeah, that's a little bit of my jewelry collection. Oh. Like 1%, like maybe 2.5%. Because I might have like 50 or 60 belts alone. So
maybe we'll do a second installment.
Yeah, maybe I'll clean my apartment and we can change it up. We can change the atmosphere. Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for sharing all of these. This is awesome.
Thank you.
I was really excited to do this because you do have such a breadth of like things that you collect. So like it's really cool to see all the way from like accessories to like things that you've made to like some of the more sentimental pieces. And I love that you collect from other jewelers as well, so we can kind of see like what other people are doing out there. It's always fun to see how different people interpret the same thing, like earrings, even like cat. Anyway, yeah. So I hope you guys had fun on this episode of Collector's Corner. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.